and the chair of the Performing Arts Department at the University of Art and Design. We've gathered a group of senior students here at the Performing Arts Department, a mixture of design and technical students, actors, musical theater, all of our areas of specialty, including dance. And I wanted to give them a chance to introduce themselves. We'll run tonight like a question and answer session. We have some pre-prepared questions. The students over here, Ramiro and Evangeline, will be moderating, and we'll take your questions live. So we encourage you to ask anything that you're curious about the department, the school, and we've got a team of experts right here to honestly answer your questions. So I am obviously the chair. I am a scenic designer and art director by profession. I teach scenic design here, and I came in this summer of 14, so this is my first year here as chair, but I am an alumni of the school. Many of you watching may have met me on the audition trail, myself, John Jory, or Gail Springer on the audition trail, looking at portfolios, or Shannon Elliott, who's been all over the planet back. And so we'd like you to know more than just the people you met on the trail. We wanted you to see a real snapshot of what actually goes on here on a daily basis and get honest feedback, unfiltered, about what Texas is like and what it's like to train here and what it's like to be a student here. So we encourage you to ask questions. We'll probably start off with a few of our own just to get this thing rolling. And you guys can kind of think of things and write in as we go. Curtis, why don't you lead, and we'll work around, and everybody will introduce themselves, what they do here, maybe where they're from.
Okay. Hello, I am Curtis Williams. I'm a senior acting major here at Santa Fe University of Art and Design. I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hi. Hi, my name is Shanice Harris. I am from Houston, Texas. I am a senior BFA acting major.
Hi, my name is Shelby Gray. I'm from the senior BFA acting major.
Hi, I'm Rachel Shuford. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I am a BFA design tech student with an emphasis in stage management.
Hi, I'm Matthew Smith. I am a junior transfer design tech major with an emphasis in costume design.
John Jory, I teach acting. Most of my career I spent running regional theaters, particularly the Actors Theater.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Touchette. I'm contributing lighting faculty for this spring semester. When I'm not here, I'm a freelance lighting designer and technician, and I primarily work in theater, dance, and opera, anywhere from very small local places all the way up through the Alley Theater in Houston, Texas, and the Fourth in DC.
I'm Marcia Jory. I teach costume design here. I've been a full-time faculty member for almost a year. I was proud to become a member of the United Student Artists Union in 1975, shortly after I finished graduate school, and I've been a union costume designer ever since.
I'm Chris Hawks. I'm faculty and technical director here at the PAD. I'm also relatively new, just been here since the summer. I have a long and varied background in entertainment, design, and construction, from theater, film, television, theme park.
My name is Jade Scott Lewis. I'm a senior BFA acting major. I'm from a little town in northern Arizona called Sedona.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Esquera. I am a senior technical theater major, emphasizing, and I switched into my sophomore year into tech. I started as an acting major, and I am from a smaller town in Arizona called Kingman. So much.
Hi, I'm Portia Shaw. I am an alumni. I have a degree in acting, a BFA, and I am from Houston, Texas.
Hi, my name is Yusuf Sievers. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm of the class of 2014 with the BFA in musical theater.
Hello, my name is Shannon Elliott. I'm the director of dance here at Performing Arts Department. Let's see, my background is varied. I danced in a company in Chicago called River North, so I have a concert background as well as musical theater. I've done various commercial work, print, industrials, that sort of thing.
Hello, I'm Gail Springer, and I am on the faculty for music theater. I teach still voice, and I direct in the group Arts and Theater, and I've been here for many, many years, and I wish I could see you.
Hi, my name is Evangeline Zotai. I'm from Waco, Texas, and I'm a technical design student emphasizing in stage management. And I am one of your moderators for tonight.
Hi, my name is Ramiro Leal. I'm a Texas acting major, and I'll be a second moderator today.
Yeah.
Great, should we get going?
Yes.
Awesome.
So, guys, what do you guys all like about this department?
Don't all jump at once.
It's really small. It's nice that it's a close-knit group of students and you get to know the people in your class as well as the people in like the classes above and below you really well. And it's a close group of students and you get a really good connection with the people that you work with and your faculty as well.
You get individual time. Yeah. Because that's something that everyone wants, and getting a chance to work with your teachers one-on-one definitely helps develop your craft.
You're never going to be in a class of 1,000. You're going to be in a class of maybe like 30 max, and then you still get a good time with all of your teachers.
And that's really great on the flip side for us too, because we really get to know your strengths and weaknesses and how to better serve you as a student.
Mm-hmm.
You said?
I like about this department that you get to maximize your own talents if you choose, but being able to tap into more things that aren't as specific as your major to make yourself a more well-rounded and marketable artist.
Yeah, I'm a design tech student and I just got done direct. That's pretty not seen in a lot of other larger departments.
Great. Question number 2. I'm working with Mr. Jordan.
Can you repeat the question?
How would you describe working with Mr. Jordan?
I'm taking names.
I'll go first. Take me
I would say the best part about it is he spends time with people who put in the work outside of class.
Yes.
Like, which I find really important because if you're not prepared, then you don't get to work, which makes it better for everybody else who did prepare.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would say it's a stretching experience. It's a necessary experience because Mr. Jory is honest, which is rare and which is refreshing and which is frustrating and which is like annoying and wonderful and amazing and all of the right things in one session. 30 minutes when you get your shit together. Sorry.
Our bad. We're sorry.
So it's a growing experience. It's a natural growing experience, and there are growing pains that go along with that experience. But it's so worth it. I was awful when I got here.
Girl,
like I would never watch me do anything when I was a freshman. Now I'm like in school, you know? Like,
yeah.
Now I'm like living my life like it's golden. So
Hey. All right. See, a lot of teachers nowadays, right? They try to mold you, right, into the idea of what they want you to be, right? They change the natural things that you have, your natural abilities, and they try to turn you basically into a robot, right? But what Mr. Jory does, he realizes what you have, like what kind of skills you have, your natural gift, and he maximizes on that, you know? And also, he's really specific about certain things, right? Like a word that you might say that's not correct. If you keep saying it incorrectly, he'll make you start all over. Like he'll do that like 10 times. So each time you start over, you get better, you get better, and you get better.
Yeah. Repetition. You will do things over and over and over and over and over again until you are solid in your work. And I think that's what makes Mr. Joe like words. Do you guys have words? Like, I don't have words to describe like exactly how amazing this man is. Seriously.
Yeah, Mr. Jory has spent hours and hours and hours and years and years and years doing what he does. He's a master of what he does, and we're all very lucky to have him here. One thing in particular that I really enjoyed about my personal growth, but I didn't know how to move on stage. I had thoughts, I had feelings, but I didn't know how to bring them onto stage and actually make them a physical entity and make them a part of my body. So he helped me to connect my thought process with my body in a way that was so useful to me as an artist, as a performer. I don't know if I really could have gotten anywhere else. So,
what about working with Gail?
Well, what I wanted to say does go for both Mr. Jory and for Gail. They, as a designer and as an actor, I was in John Jory's acting, and then switched into tech my sophomore year, and had confided in both of them about this decision, and they were really helpful helping me figure out that this is what I wanted to do and become a lighting designer. And working with both of them, they have taught me that you can't just say words. You have to show, and you have to bring art to the table. You can't just talk about having this beautiful scene. It's making it come to life and making the show what they want it to be, but also making it into a beautiful story for everybody to understand and to collaborate with as a design team and as an actor, whatever it may be. And with Gail, we have worked together a lot, and it's been a really nice time being able to learn from as simple as music theater workshop. Well, simple in the sense of different songs with her in Middletown, of having this really big story to grasp onto and to really make something out of it. It's been a great time with Gail and with Mr. Jory.
Portia?
Working with Gail is like, it's almost kind of like a meditation. Like, you start with a cast list. Gail always has the craziest cast list. Like, you always, that's always the one that people are like fighting over. Like, Gail's cast list is always like, well, we don't know. Like, never know. So like, you usually are in a group of people that you never expected to be in the same group, and you never expected people to be as interconnected as like you thought. You just didn't think that, and then the process goes on, and you just realize how amazing it is, and you realize what Gail is talking about and what she's been talking about, and it's always so worth it. Yeah. Like, it's always beautiful, it's always well executed, and it's always I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's always right. Yeah. It's always metaphorical, and it's always like, boom, like, okay, well, like, right. And yeah, it's just, Gail it's like a meditation. Like, it grows into something, and you have this like beautiful realization at the end, and you're like, it's something completely different than what you thought you were going into. Like, Once on This Island, that show, when we started that show, we were like, what are we gonna do? We're doing African dance, like, we're over here struggling, like, we got dreads, like, braids and dreads. But then when we all closed that show, we were weeping. Like, we did not finish the final number of Once on This Island. We couldn't. We were all weeping. And it was I was always thankful to do a show with Gail. She always gave me a chance, yes. And that's a great thing about Gail.
Thank you, Portia. I'm going to move on to the next question, because we have a live feed from a student. And this is going to be directed to faculty and graduates. Okay, so how is it for you working with, since NFA is very far away from the East Coast, how is it working with connections?
I can definitely speak to that. So, Santa Fe has an incredible film market, and it has a wonderful market for it, and obviously that would be something that would happen outside of the program here, which you have to be careful, because your work here and your work here at this program is where your primary focus is. But if you do have off time, if you're caught here in a summer, if you're here at a time when you're not going, there are film opportunities here. And yeah, I mean, it's the cool thing about the film market here is there isn't a ridiculous amount of competition. Like, you're working in a smaller market. So not while you're in school simultaneously, but when school's over during the summer, there's a benefit to living in this area from a business standpoint, I would say.
And also the film department, which is a very large and active film department, makes it possible for our students to work in many aspects of film. I know some students who have graduated who have done a half dozen or more student films. So you spend a lot of time in front of the camera, and there are probably people in the room who spend time behind the camera.
Yeah.
Just for clarity, you were speaking towards connections to the East Coast, is that what I heard?
Yes, theaters in the East Coast, professional connections.
Ah, okay.
Well, I actually think that's a good segue because Portia and Yusuf are recent graduates of the program. So actually, why don't you guys take that up regarding graduate school?
Everybody talks to everybody. Everybody communicates with everybody, and they all are seeing the same people. They're all seeing the same things. So
graduate school,
the people running the graduate schools, and as far as them being able to connect with each other, but it's not that big of the world is not that big. It's literally almost like that big, and like they can just hop across, and they're literally phone calls away from like, hey, did you see Yusuf earlier today? And they're like, yeah, I saw. And then they're asking you questions. You're like, how did you know that I was going? But the connections are very small, and so it's very encouraging to stay in your zone and be able to do things to the best of your ability.
There are several people in the room who have already committed to first-rate graduate schools, and one should say that, I always call it a blood sport, really, because they will see anywhere between 800 and 3,000 students in their auditions across the country before they select the 6 or 8 or 16 people who are going to be in the program. So it is highly competitive, and our students, mainly because of their talent, have done extremely well in that area.
Nice. I kind of want to hear a little bit more from the faculty. What do you think is the greatest strengths here in the department? What do you think you're providing for these students?
Tender loving care.
TLC.
Andy, Shannon?
Well, I would say the size of our department, we have the ability to have individual meetings with students, hear what their particular interests are, and if there is a way for any of us as faculty to help them move forward in that path, we will do so. We've had independent studies, advanced technical theater projects, what other small internship things that we can recommend students to. So I think that it's a very intimate, and to me, that's a strength.
Well, I think it's a giant strength because of the fact that, sort of the amount of stage time and the amount of under the eye of someone, the faculty, the director, whoever it may be, is obviously increased if there are less humans involved and smaller classes. So in point of fact, really, it's not only that you get attention, but I think attention at that stage of your development is pretty crucial.
My portfolio review class, which was a funny little class, but it was a group of Marcia taught it, and I mean, there were only 3 people in the class, and so we got a lot of really good one-on-one time. 20 minutes of the class was dedicated to just you, and it was good to get an opportunity to talk about what's it like out start. Where do I go?
There's only 3 people in it now. Yeah. And it's pretty great to be able to talk about everything. I'm actually doing a mock interview tomorrow for my midterm, so it's really nice to have that experience with other people and with seeing what they're going to do and how I can better myself as a designer.
Shelby, talking about programs, how would you describe our program? Is it film, television, theater, or well-rounded?
If you want it to be more film-centered, it can be. But I think it's mostly stage. But the class that I'm in with Mr. Jory now is acting audition, and we go over how to do like your contemporary piece, and then you also do cold reads, prepared reads, a commercial audition, television audition. So he like covers it, so it's not, I feel like now I can go into a commercial audition and I at least know what to expect instead of being like, oh my God, I know nothing. Like, but if you want to do more film things, but I think you need to make a decision kind of in the beginning what you want to do based on my experience, because you can get both if you want. I'm focused on stage, so that's what I chose to follow.
Great. Yeah, go for it.
So as far as like what type of program this is more like what she said, as far as what you want it to be. If you want to have a well-rounded experience and you want to help stage a show or help choreograph a show or choreograph for a class or be in a dance photo shoot or film across the campus, that is something for you to do. No one's going to make you teach a class, or no one's going to make you sub for something, or no one's going to make you teach other people anything. If you would like to do it, they're going to show you how to do it, and they're going to show you how to do it effectively. And, you know, in a small environment with a small group of people, you know, to maximize the productivity.
Right, it is what you want it to be.
And when you walk into the film department doors, as an actor from this department, you're well received.
Yes.
People want to work with you. People are excited to work with you.
I think to add to that, if you want something here, you really have to go and push for it. If they won't sit waiting for you. Nobody in this department will wait for you. They're wanting you to do it. If you want it.
I think a question directed more towards Laura. How many theater productions would you like to say we do per year?
So historically, and I talk about this a lot on the audition trail because it's probably the number one question that I get. Historically, we do 4 main stage shows a year, 4 black box shows. This year we added the room plays. So we have a series called Get a Room, and we're doing plays in rooms all over campus. We had the first this fall, and we have 5 this spring. And 4 student directors who did the first 4, and then John Jory's directing the last. And we're in the middle of renovations of the theater, so the studio in our black box shows are now in different locations on and off campus. We also have music theater workshop, which is a class. There's a music theater workshop 1 and music theater workshop 2, and Gail can probably speak to this in further depth, but this year, music theater workshop 2 in the fall had several performances. This spring, they'll do performances in a different gallery on campus, and then a select group of them will go off campus to a cantina to perform. So we've upped, I think, the number. And then in addition to that, and Evangelina Ramiro are pretty familiar with this, they help me run and organize the trailers that we shoot of every single live show that we do in the department.
Check them out.
Great. You can find them out.
Great. Curtis, I direct this question to you, but it's for any acting major. What techniques, acting techniques, are specifically taught on this campus?
Stanislavski.
Yes, right.
Eisner.
Come on.
Alexander Chekhov.
Moderation.
Just a little bit. Stella Adler. Benedetti. What else we got? Am I missing something? Mr. Jones. Gail Springer.
Joanne. He's trying.
To speak on that, what I appreciate most is that it's majorly a sampling of a lot of things for you as an artist to pull from for your own use.
Right.
And so what I like is that you get to briefly delve into a lot of things and like experience them in a condensed setting, no less, but it's enough for you to understand that how could I use these tools in any degree toward where I want to perform, how I want to do these things. You know, I can use a sampling of like a Meisner thing that we did for like 3 weeks, but it's still a tool that I can use that adds depth to my performance. Right. It doesn't just keep it flatline.
Right. And it's never like you have to use this.
Right. Yeah. You get to figure out your own process while you're here.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
Not in my class.
It's the Jory technique.
Rachel, I have a question for you. Since, we recently did the student-directed plays, how was that experience like? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, it was a really fun experience. It was new. It was weird being the one, usually I'm the one sitting next to the director, and I had someone sitting next to me. But I had a really fun time going into just like myself as a person and how I connect with other people, and looking into that and saying, this is theater and it's about these people that are connecting and they're like intertwining lives, and how I could do my best as just being me, give them, the best advice. Because I haven't taken an acting class. I don't know any of these acting, but I was able to say, just give them like advice and just talk to them about what it's like, I don't know, what I thought it was like to be human.
Which is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Human.
Rochelle, what available internships are there?
On camp.
Or theater.
So where you're applying. I mean, right now I am applying to Cirque du Soleil, and there are different internships all around. There aren't, here in town, you would ask. I've worked here around town, and not necessarily as internships, but as design work. But it's all about who you know and who you can ask. I've talked with Chelsea and I've talked with Chris I could apply to. I've definitely talked with Laura as well about different places that would mean something for me and where I could continue to learn. Because in my opinion, an internship is the next step right before the job. It's a place that you can still learn, a place that you can still make some mistakes, not a lot, but where you can still figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it, and more of what you want to do.
About the design tech classes.
Which ones? Well, they have definitely changed throughout the years. When I first got here, the tech that was here had taught every class except for costuming. All of the freshman toolboxes, stage management 1, costuming 1, I think it is, the stagecraft class, and the basic stage lighting class are the 4. But and those are all the basic skills for those 4 categories. But where I did more of my learning and where I really wanted to be was backstage and learning, or at the light board, or wherever it may be, for me, the light board. But being on stage, work that hands-on time. The class is theory. The class is understanding, all right, this is plywood, this is a wrench, this is this. But which is what we've all been through. But being on stage is where you can actually apply everything that you've learned. Yeah. And you're continually tested as I've seen before, and as I go through every day in all tech.
Cool. Are you guys in any clubs?
Clubs?
Clubs, like
I'm
off
the
campus?
student voice president.
How do you guys fit that in your schedule? How would you?
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of balancing and making lists and scheduling out your time, because there might be times where you have to go to a meeting late at night and then you just came back from rehearsal and then you have class. So it's definitely about scheduling your time and not overworking yourself and making sure you have time for you.
But don't avoid it because you think you're going to be too busy. Like, you do it. And there's other people that are going to be in the club with you who are also theater majors, who are also going to be in the same time crunch as you. And, you just do it and you go to those meetings late at night because, that's another time that's just for you and it's fun and it's, extracurriculars.
I mean, I would say take freshman year for yourself. I would definitely say figure out yourself, figure out what you want to do, whether or not you want to be an actor, be in technical theater, whatever you want to do. But I'm a hall director in residential life. I'm in charge of the RAs as of right now, Shanice and Ramiro. And Ramiro is also hall director as with myself. And it's a lot of work to figure out this. You have to prioritize. You have to make sure to make time for yourself. It seems easier said than done, but if you're not ready for it, then stay focused on what you want to do here. You're here for school, first off and foremost. Anything else is just an added bonus.
It's proud. You feel proud being a part of being active in your community.
You oddly notice though that it's mainly theater majors that
It
are
is.
in
It
these
is.
student life clubs. Like it is mostly theater majors. So
half the RAs are theater majors.
True.
I'm gonna direct a question about tech to Matthew. Since you're already costume designer here, how is that working for you?
Wait, to be clear there, Ramiro, he's not the only costume
Present in the room. In the room here.
You do say
Question one.
Challenging here. Before I came here this past fall, I didn't really have any design opportunities. So jumping in here this past fall has been a great challenge. Designing already in the first main stage show, and I designed in the second main stage show. And I did have a film opportunity. And this semester I have a studio show of my own. So you definitely have opportunities here. I believe there are only 3 design costumes. So you have so you have a lot of opportunities and a lot of one-on-one opportunities as well.
I think this year has been really good about making a lot more opportunities for students, both design and acting, definitely.
Yes.
And I have to say that Matthew created some wonderful costumes.
What do you guys think is the difference between high school theater and college theater, the process of it? And then
Rochelle.
I think you have more people that care. I think in high school theater, you're dealing with a lot of people that are taking drama as an elective because they don't want to take anything else. And so here, you have a lot of people that want to be here and they want to prove themselves as artists, as actors, and really show what they're made of.
Shelby.
On another thing, like in high school, everybody's like, oh, you have to do this, and they hold your hand through it.
Yeah.
But it's like, once you're here, they will help you as much as they can, but you have to put in the effort. If you don't care about it, why should they care? And I wouldn't expect them to. So it's like, you have to really take pride in what you're doing and doing so you can get better. No one's gonna hold your hand and take you through it. And it makes you grow up, which is what college is about. And it's what you need to know before you leave here.
You've got mentors who help you,
Yeah,
like, if you mess up and you like, or you need advice or something, you've got people that you can go to. But you essentially, you have the job. Like, they're not, you know, my technical director isn't in rehearsals with me being like, no, you should have written your class, you know? But if I'm like, I really don't know what I'm doing, I have someone I can talk to.
You, sir, did you have?
I have a small something to say. As far as like, hold your hand and like walk you through things, but it's also good to remember that these people that are teaching you and guiding you through this process also have things to do.
Yeah.
Directing shows, you know, schedules, things that, you know, you know, all these things that are all a part of the same equation. So it's good to remember that these people aren't just like beckoning every 5 minutes and be like, do you need, would you like, could I help, you know?
Yeah.
You know, unless you want it, then, you know, ask for it. Ask for what you want and you shall receive.
And it's like, it's definitely a transitional phase, because I still remember like it was yesterday, me leaving high school and coming into college, because I expected someone to like walk me through everything and like hold my hand and like lay everything out for me. It was not like that. I had to learn not a lot of things on my own, but a lot of personal and self-development and growth in order to apply that to my craft and to my work and to the training and adding professors. And so it was just a really big, it was a big discovery, But once you make that discovery and you stick with what you're learning, you actually it definitely helps. It definitely makes a change within yourself.
So we're getting a lot of questions about acting, film acting. So how is it like working with the film department?
Jade can speak more about
Yeah.
like professional film. I can speak more to like
Student.
art
Student
film. You just have, it's a great experience, and if you want to do it, you can, but don't get so wrapped up in that you can't do what you're here to do.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I mean, honestly, there's not a tremendous, I mean, there is collaboration, but
Right.
department chair to department chair, there's not much collaboration between this department and this department and this department and this department. It's you, like we were saying earlier, getting up, walking over to the film building, going in and saying, I want to work for you guys. And I promise you, when you do that, when you walk into that building and you say, I'm an acting major, I've come here to study this, and I want to work with you guys, people are going to want to work with. Once you go out and you start extending contacts and meeting people in the film program, you're going to keep working with people in the film program. Your first film isn't going to be your last one. You're going to keep working on it and working on it and working on it.
And actually, I take umbrage at the collaboration, since I'm really close to the chair.
This might all be changing, so I don't know.
So keep in mind, Jade's a senior, and it's our first year here, but there's a really consistent conversation.
This is great.
We're working really hard at that.
And in a film class that we had with Benedetti last semester, we collaborated with the film students. Like, they picked scenes that they wanted to do or recreate, and they cast. We had a whole process of auditions. They cast us, and then we had days in class where we could go and film for that.
Yeah.
And they had their our professor helping us. So it was like
that was our collaboration.
That was a cool experience.
And this is a professor, Robert Benedetti, who has won 2 Emmys.
He's got
so he does know what he's talking about.
Yes.
And he's the sweetest.
So nice.
So I kind of want to touch a little bit on dance. So what is the dance? What's the dance program like here? What's the exposure like for dancers here?
Okay, well, I'll start with your first question. So I like to describe our dance program as a mixture of training for the concert dance world and also the commercial dance world. So all of our dancers take ballet and modern for technique foundation every single semester. And we add in different genres. So they take tap, they take music, theater, dance, jazz, hip hop, which has not been offered in a while, but it's on the docket. Classes. Last semester we had ballroom. We've done Afro-Caribbean in So we also encourage our dancers to be very versatile in that they're not just considering themselves dancers. They need to have acting. They should be taking voice lessons so that they can get into the commercial world, audition for musical theater, and that they're ready for any sort of audition opportunity and job opportunity. In the fall, this past fall, we had a really amazing dance company come in for a week-long residency, Body Traffic, and they live or they're from Los Angeles. And they are a very unique, up-and-coming contemporary dance company, and they came and set a work on our dance majors by choreographer Citra Bell, who's very popular living in Brooklyn right now. So that was a really great opportunity, a way for our dancers to get exposure to actual working companies out there. And my intention, the dance program is quite new. We're in our second year of the new curriculum. And so I hope to be able to bring many guest stars to give these dancers that sort of exposure and to give them the experience of us with all the different kinds of choreographers, because every single choreographer, director, they're going to have a different process and they need to be exposed to that and be ready for anything.
Great.
Awesome. I have one question. What are there opportunities outside the school for dancers?
In Santa Fe, not a whole lot, to be honest. There are a couple of studios that have classes that they could take. I know Yusuf here, he's a regular at Elise Dent's
It's
Afro-Caribbean dance class on Saturdays, and so there are kind of some training things that they can go through. I hope to be taking the dance majors out as to perform, not necessarily them getting jobs in Santa Fe, because we're just a small community here. And yes.
I do have something small to say. I don't know. But speaking towards getting jobs in Santa Fe, in specific to dancing, I also work as a choreographer for Santa Fe Preparatory High School, which is a private high school here in town that does musicals and like things like that, which is an avenue that was made for me by our faculty here. And me having done work here and like simple reference of like, I'm looking for a choreographer, hey, go find Yusuf, and I call him, and then we meet once, and now I have a job that pays outside of my regular job. You know, you get the hustle, you know what I mean? Things roll over, and as far as the dance goes that you were talking about, those are the kind of things that are also available in the town.
Teaching,
Segueing into balancing your core classes and acting classes. Shanice, you want to talk about that? And also, do you ever not take a theater class?
No, you are always taking a theater class. As far as the balance goes, you do have liberal arts core classes that you have to take because they are a part of getting your degree. And you also have your acting classes. Depending on the year that you're in, acting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you might have voice, you might have Estel, music theater workshop, you might have dance, just depending on what track you're on, if you're BFA acting or BA or BFA musical theater. But balance is definitely a thing, depending on how many credits you do take. So there could be one semester where you're like, oh, okay, I'm taking 18 credits. I have this many, I have this many core classes and I have this many core acting classes. But it's definitely doable because we're all here in front of you looking at you. We did it. Well, we almost done it.
And yes, and they don't like your core classes, they won't give you evening classes because it might conflict if you have a show or anything, so you'll never have evening classes.
You can't, they won't let you sign up for a class that will conflict with your rehearsal. They can't.
That and a lot of the teachers that you have from my experience, their understanding is your main priority, as well. You do have your liberal arts course classes and the core classes, and they are your priority as well. However, you're here to act. So say for example, oh, I'm working on extension on something, of course you can. Email me what's happening, and then there you go.
That's not as easy with the theater teachers.
No, not with your theater teacher. That doesn't happen.
They know what tech is like. They are probably in tech with you.
Exactly.
So they understand, but they also really do stress that you take more time to balance because it is important that you're doing both theater work, your theater design, whatever show work, production, and your theater work for theater classes and everything else in between.
And I have something to add to that talking about balancing work, being like a work study and doing productions, going to class.
You've got to schedule your day out, and you've got to make sure that you like look at your schedule. I've got a schedule that starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 10:30. Okay, but nothing overlaps, so I'll be fine. And then you hit like that 2:30 hour, and you're about to start, rehearsals or whatever, and you're just dead. You have to look at your schedule ahead of time and look at the time that you'll have for breaks and to eat meals and to do your homework and making sure time to do everything that is outside of the allotted time for each class and work study and your rehearsals and if you have an off-campus job, don't strain yourself and don't have time to focus on yourself.
But the time management, it's a really important thing that everyone really has to be able to embrace and deal with. Because whether you're a technician or a designer or a performer, it's quite often a freelance world, and you're going from project to project and often double and triple dipping at times. So it's really It's an excellent skill to have to keep you flexible and still on point.
Yes, please.
Yes, but you also have to.
Speaking of time, man.
What I've learned is that you have to communicate with those people, like the person who hired you, transparent, and tell them your schedule, and they'll work with you because everybody understands we're here for our art. We're here to act or do whatever you do. And they understand that. So you just talk to them and be like, look, man, I'm doing this. Okay, from this time to this time, they have to understand. They would understand. If they're a good person.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And you get your design and show assignments at the beginning of the semester. So you have time to say like, hey, these are the weeks that I'm gonna be in tech and performance. Can I double up my hours like another week so that I can have these weeks off? Like you have, if you're looking at your schedule like a semester ahead of yourself, it's totally doable. Yeah.
We're gonna move to the next question. Marsha.
Hey.
3 things you like about SFUAD.
And I like all.
Right.
That's my favorite too.
Jay, can you speak to that?
3 things I like about SFUAD? Yeah, sure.
Not more than like theater, like as a whole, the school, things that you like.
Can I talk about the theater?
Go for it.
What I wanted to say was that I really like about the theater program is that you're not only you're auditioning from the very beginning. Many undergraduate programs don't let you audition for the main set or main stage season. They don't let you audition until you're a junior or a senior. Here, not only do you get to, you are required to audition. By the time you leave as a senior, no, you are so comfortable with the, I am so comfortable with the audition process. You understand? And it's just not as it was when I first came in. I love the space. I love the carpet.
Did you really just say the carpet?
So for those of you who can't see it, we're the Career Garson Theater. Career Garson endowed this theater. She's a part of this theater. She is our ghost. And
Our Lady in the Wall.
Our Lady in the Wall. That's right. And the theater is also our signature brand. If you look at our Facebook page, so it's a double G, not like Gucci or who's the other. But we're Garson, so
we should probably mention who Career Garson is.
True. Yeah, Mr. Jory.
No, we only need to say that she was one of the greatest film stars of particularly the 30s and 40s. At one time, probably the greatest female film star in American film.
And she has a long history. She's a long history in Santa Fe, New Mexico specifically. So this theater was a huge part of her world when she moved here with her husband, Buddy Fogelson. The library here is named after Buddy Fogelson, and the film studios and the theater are named after Greer.
I kind of want to go back to what we like about SFUAD and ask.
So I'm sort of an outsider. I'm a visiting faculty member. But what's really great about this place is the energy. You're in a place that not only invites but encourages artistic expression constantly, and that's a real place to be all the time.
Since I threw my hand up, I like the fact that Santa Fe is spacious and New Mexico is spacious. New Mexico is beautiful. Santa Fe in itself is beautiful. Like when you walk out of like the school, you look to like your right, there's a mountain that's beautiful. And you can see the stars at night, which is something that's new for me because I'm from Houston, so you don't see like stars. But the fact that you can like actually walk outside and breathe in fresh air and like see the stars in the sky, the sunsets. Come on, boy, Sheila, give this to me. The sunsets are beautiful. The people that you meet here are really nice, like really nice. And that's not cool for me either sometimes because I'm from Houston, so But just being able to communicate on a different level with other people and the positive vibes that you get. It's a good positive working place. I like it.
And I think from coming from mountains and stars and everything in Arizona, it's a nice transition that it's not too crazy. You still feel like you're at home in a sense. I know for Michigan or something where there aren't mountains, I would freak out. So it's nice to be able to have an easy transition and feel like I'm not too far from home, even though home for me is an 8-hour drive away. So.
And this is the desert, but it's the high desert. So we have to remember we also have winters, which are very beautiful with snow, which is wonderful. Great ski areas nearby if you ever had any time to do.
There's real seasons here. Yeah, you get seasons all four.
I was just gonna, the people here are passionate about what they come here to do. And in writing, all want to be here to write. The people who are here for film are passionate about film.
Yeah.
So when you're walking around this campus, you're surrounded by people who are actively pursuing the thing they want to do with their life, essentially, a lot of the time. And it's just great to be around that creative energy, be around those people all the time.
On that note, Mr. Jory, Curtis, we'll come back to you. One thing are the department's greatest strengths?
Personal attention and passion. Those two would do fine.
Is that what has been your professional opportunities here? Like, what have you been involved with professionally?
Before you graduate.
In the program here?
No, outside.
Sorry, outside. Yes.
I worked for the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival in their box office and administration office, which isn't necessarily what I'm going in to do, but it definitely, I saw old, it wasn't theater, it was chamber music, but still, like, I was in a box office, I was selling tickets, I was helping with the house manager, working a lot with patron services. And so that was a pretty cool job I had this summer. I don't know.
Curtis?
I was in the health insurance commercial for like 5 seconds. And I played I was cornpop from I was a barista, and I'm filming a TV show. I'm gonna be on it for like American History Channel.
Yes. Yeah. I was on a television show shooting here on the campus called Manhattan. I played and that was paid work through the union that I was able to find while going to school.
On his campus.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
On campus.
I've done some work on the Maze Runner that's coming out. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I've done some stuff for a gospel music channel. That was pretty cool. Film.
All right.
Portia? Sorry, more. No?
I was a part of the Santa Fe Shakespearean Theater Festival. Which is a paid, 2 summers. And I also got a job doing a couple readings that I got paid pretty good money for readings. Like it was like great. Like I repeat on the great money.
I should just mention too, we've had recently graduated seniors. We've had 3 recently graduated seniors who've done between either their sophomore and junior year or their junior and senior year. They've done the Santa Fe Opera internship in either prop making, lights, set crew. So we've had several people come through that program as well.
The New York Arts program, which I'm in the process of applying for, but you go to New York for a semester and you get to work with a company that you're assigned. And you spend a semester there, and it's a pretty great experience.
I will say that that's one great thing about including the city, as far as what opportunities are presented to you. This is a kind of time where you can make your own opportunities. I was involved in 2 full-scale Shakespearean shows over the past couple summers, but there's also this is the kind of community where you could get 4 people together and say, so you do that, you do that, you do this. We'll meet twice this week and next week, and then we'll run for this next week, and then we'll actually do it in a space in the city. And it will happen.
Yeah.
People will come, people will pay money if you do it right, and that's what I appreciate about this city, is that there are people that are willing to be like, yeah, let's do it. I'll come. When it's 8 a.m., I'm there,
Running short on time, we have some special questions for each one of you all. Okay?
Specialized.
Specialized. And I think Shelby's going to start us off with this one.
God.
Busted.
Shelby, how many acting rules do you see on the wall?
What? Acting rules?
Yes.
Oh, I know about that there.
This is a trick question.
That's so
First class.
Now you're gonna make me feel stupid.
It's right up top.
What?
Yeah, and most of those rules cannot, in fact, be revealed.
That's a secret until you come.
We know it though.
I mean, you know it.
There's 17 acting rules.
Is there?
I feel like the numbers change every year.
It's a definite number of acting.
Oh!
I told you. See, I told you. Don't say it. It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Curtis. To take a pause or not to take a pause. The constant battle.
It's, ooh, if you
Let's take a
He's taking a pause.
Yeah.
Rochelle.
Gotta take a pause.
Yeah.
Rochelle and Chels, are you left sharking it?
Yes. I'm a left
All
shark
day,
all the
every
time.
day.
Left shark life for real.
All these are love sharks, y'all.
Left shark.
Katy Perry halftime show.
The left shark is the best one. And we mean house left or stage left shark? Okay, either way, it's just a left shark. The awesome shark.
Yeah, the left shark was like this.
Yeah.
What do you expect as an answer when you ask actors, do you like your costume? No, take it off.
You don't ask that question.
That's right.
Why not? Can you explain that?
You gotta wear
Who needs the most alarm clocks in this department?
You know what I mean? But I'm changing. But changing.
You have to.
Shanice, what has been your favorite costume?
Oh no, I've had so many costumes. Oh my God. Ooh, Marsha, I love you, girl, but I wish you were here for this. It was my red backless.
Yes, it was beautiful.
Ooh, my red backless, like 1920s, 1930s dress that I had. Really red, really
Designed by
cute.
a costume design student.
Yes.
Oh my God. Becca Katz did that. I looked fine. It was a great costume.
Are we all talking about our favorite costumes? Just for me. Don't do that now. Belize, Angels in America, pink denim jeans, sailor shirt, purple scarf, suede shoes, run it down.
The thing about that
Marsha
is
Joy.
Yusuf could always make it work because he'd come in and make the costume.
Yeah.
Also a choice.
Yeah.
But now I can make a pair of jeans from Scrizat.
And pajama pants.
But only because I said, Marsha, I want to make these pink denim jeans for myself. And she was like, here you go.
Awesome, thank you guys. I want to remind everyone out there that any unanswered questions will be answered through email. And then, Laura, it's up to you.
Yeah,
now.
so as all of you want to raise your hands if anybody thinks they're going to grad school?
I am quite certain.
Yeah.
You guys want to give us a rundown?
Southern Methodist University, full ride.
Yeah.
Let's be specific. Tuition relief and $10,000 a year for expenses.
Yes. Cash.
Portia?
I'm going to University of Washington, 3/4 paid with a stipend of $18.46 a month.
Oh my God.
Who else wants to talk about that?
Curtis.
Yeah,
Curtis.
My name is Curtis Williams.
That's why you need the most alarms.
I graduated from New Orleans Center of Creative Arts, where I'm going to Yale.
I'm Shanice Harris. Brown University, full tuition. Boop, boop.
You want to say, yeah, you're in process, right?
I've been accepted into NYU's graduate acting program, and I haven't heard yet about financial aid, but I'll be hearing within the week, but I'm probably gonna go.
Woo! That's great. Does anybody else want to talk about plans after graduation? Anything exciting? Or favorite classes, or anything you'd like to leave them with?
I want to leave with Laura Feinhox is a beautiful being. I started at this school with, this is important. I started here as an acting major, not sure what I wanted to do, and I found out that Laura did the exact same thing. She graduated here as an acting major, but here she is now, a beautiful set designer, and when I first met her, she was in paint overalls, painting a set, and now I'm watching this person leave the school, and it's really uplifting to see somebody work in the field and come back here with a smile on her face, ready to go, all right, let's paint another set. Let's make another meeting, let's do another webinar, let's make another show. The people here, Laura, Chris, everyone here they're just great. And it's great to work with people that are consistently working and they know what it means to have to work every minute of their lives to do what they want to do and make the art that they want to make.
When you come here, know that you have your talents. You have your talent that you're coming here on, but that you also have other talents. For me, it was singing. I didn't know that. And Gail, she's definitely pushed me. Not pushed me like pushed, but she definitely. No, she never pushed me. But she definitely encouraged me to go after singing. So when I first came here, I didn't sing, but now she asked me like her musicals, and now I'm in a music theater workshop. Like what? I came from dance experience, expanding without chanting with Gail. So don't forget about the other talents that you have because they can come to life.
Don't box yourself in. There's so many things that you can do here. And if you want to do it, you can do it. And you have great people to teach you how to do whatever it is you want.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that in the rehearsal rooms, I mean, working with directors like, you're pushed very, very, very hard, but it's an environment that's cultivated, it's safe and it's loving, and it's an environment where you're comfortable making mistakes. And I can honestly say that was so helpful to me that I didn't have to be terrified to go into these rehearsal rooms because I knew I was going to be working with people who cared about me, wanted to see, and I just think that was so valuable. So
the same way on the design tech end, like I don't feel like I'm ever expected to know everything, and I have got people who are always willing to answer my questions whenever I'm not so sure what I'm doing, but they also trust me, and sometimes the answer is, what does your gut say? And I've learned a lot from that as well, so.
Great. And talk about the audition process ever. But what I want to say is, in the audition process here, you don't have to be what you think the director wants you to be because that's usually never what they want you to be.
Yes.
And always remember that if you go in knowing what you want to do and what you are going to say, you will always succeed in this department. If you go in with confidence and you leave with confidence and you did good, then 20 times out of 20, you did good. And even if you don't get cast, it doesn't mean anything about you as a person. Or if it does, these people will bring you I think you did great, but you need to work a little bit on this. And then that will benefit you and help you for the next audition process. And you will probably get in something.
Yeah.
So never fear when you audition.
Yes.
You're not
Never fear when you audition here.
You're not expected to be perfect when you come in. You are expected to learn how to be yourself and do your own things when you come into here. So don't be nervous.
That doesn't mean that it doesn't get competitive though, because it does in a good way.
Yes, in a good way, in a healthy
In a
way.
good way.
In the right way, yes.
If you let it.
Let it, you want it to be right.
So I think we'll wrap it up. Does anybody have anything else? I think we'll sign off. We'll go about, we're a mid-show for the musical for Street Girls. John Jory's starting up his room play. So we're coasting into spring break next week and then a major end of the semester here. If you have any questions, you want to follow up with what we see here tonight, if you want to follow up with any of our faculty, we're always welcome to answer questions. Our enrollment advisors are specific to our department. Many of you are probably already working with them. Malcolm and Mary Beth, you're probably with one or the other, and they can answer any questions that you have. Do you guys want to just come out?
Come here.
Walk across that.
Just next to a name. So we're happy to follow up. We're happy to answer any other questions you have about your training, about the program here, about what the theater renovations, anything that you want to plug us about. We're happy to do that offline by phone or please come visit. All right, thanks so much. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.